Hello again, I'm Matthew Gore from thewetpen.com. We're really starting to make some progress with the Inkvent calendar now. Today is the 9th of December, so let's see what we have behind door number 9. Here we have a standard ink called Cardinal. We don't actually have cardinals in this part of the country, but they were always nice to see when I lived in Ohio. What we do have this time of year are winter hummingbirds swarming the feeder. Anyway, I'm going to swatch this ink on my coloring, on rhodia, and on Midori paper, which is ivory. This looks like a nice vibrant red that leans towards orange. I'll give it a little while to dry. It's very similar in color across all of these papers this time, and there's just a little hint of golden sheen at the edges where the ink pooled. I wouldn't expect to see that in actual writing though. Here's the coloring and the rhodia, and here's the coloring with the Midori. Last week, we had an ink in the calendar that was an orangey red also. That was Spiced Apple, which also had some shimmer in it, but in comparison, it looks more like a rusty color. And in last year's Inkvent calendar, we had another red bird, that was Red Robin, which was also a more subdued color, very similar to Diamine Blood Orange. Cardinal is much closer to Poppy Red, but Poppy is a little paler, actually. But it's very close to Krishna Sindoor, and if you've been watching my series about Indian inks, it's pretty much identical to the 3 red inks from Suleka that I talked about 2 weeks ago. It's much more orange than Red Dragon and Romania Red, and a little less orange than Monteverde Mandarin Orange or a dark application of Noodler's Sidewinder Sepia. For my writing sample, I wrote with the red Jinhao 100 that you've seen earlier in the video. It has a medium nib, and the ink flowed pretty well. It's not as dry as a lot of reds tend to be. With that nib, I didn't really get any shading, but the ink was really nice and vibrant. When I switched over to my broad nib, I did get a good amount of shading and still got good flow, even though it's a somewhat drier nib. I also tried it out on some HP Premium 32, and there were no problems or anything interesting about that. What do you think? Is this the type of red that you'd use, or do you prefer something darker? If I were still grading tests and papers, I would certainly use it for that. Well, that's it for today. I hope that you'll give this video a thumbs up if you have a second, and I will see you back here again tomorrow with another new bottle of ink. Merry Christmas, everyone.